second season for you as the head coach here at Churubusco. So talk a little bit about where you're at and where this team is at as far as you as a head coach to kind of move forward and know exactly where they are in terms of being on the same page with what you got going.
Well, I think one of the easiest things that we were able to do last year with the coaching staff and with the group of seniors we had was that we didn't really we tried not to change a whole lot from when Lee was here, and we essentially have the same coaching staff as when Lee was here. I think that's made things nice for, even for the younger kids. There's some sort of repetition, and they have expectations as to how practice goes and the tempo of things, and the summer schedule and things like that hasn't changed a whole lot. So we've been fortunate that even our seniors this year have gone through the same type of thing for 4 years, and I think that's transitioned well as far as people's expectations on the team and knowing what we expect out of them and how things are going to go. So
9 consecutive winning seasons. How do you make it 10?
Well, schedule's definitely going to be a lot tougher this year. We play some very good teams early in the season, and I think that will be good for us. But with the kids we lost, we're I've been saying it all preseason. We're waiting for some leaders, still looking for some of those leaders to step up and not just fill roles on the football field, but be the voice in the huddle and that type of thing. So I think we have some talent, we have some potential in some areas, and depth is an issue. But I definitely think we have the potential to win football games. We just have to find some kids that are going to take us where we need to be. So.
Yeah, talk about specifically offensively. You lose basically all your starting skill position players, even some guys that are you top 2 running backs essentially.
Yeah, we're definitely replacing some people in the backfield, and we feel like we have some kids that are capable of doing that. We have some kids that have been kind of waiting and learning from some of those older guys that graduated. I think we're going to be able to rotate some kids around and have a running back by committee and try and spread the ball around a little bit more than just having one feature back. Adrian Springer, Dakota LeBenz. And then there's a couple of new kids that that haven't gotten a lot of carries but have the potential. Devin Peters and Sam Richards, and I think that those are types of kids that they're athletic and they know what they're doing, and I think that they'll fill those roles well, or at least they have the potential to do that. So
who are your 2 guys last year at running back? It was Kane Johnson, and who was the other part of that 2-headed tandem?
Cody Conwell, and he's at St. Francis now. So he followed Matheson and Nicodemus there. So we're definitely going to miss having those guys. But like I said, I think we've got kids that they've seen good running backs and they've seen what the expectations are, and I think that we've got some kids that hopefully can step up and fill those roles and lead by example for the younger kids coming up after them.
Tell me about this offensive line, because that is one area where it seems like you do have some experience coming back.
Yeah, we have Jake Geiger and Lyle McParland. Lyle's a starting inside linebacker, but Lyle's a very intelligent kid and has kind of been practicing guard for 4 years, and we've just never really asked him to do that because he's kind of been our leader on the defensive side of the ball. And this is the type of thing where, depth is an issue, and a guy like Lyle, he knows every position on the offensive line, and even though he hasn't gotten a lot of offensive reps, so we're going to lean on him. And Jake Geiger, is we've had some very good guards here, and Jake has been right up there with everybody. He's been getting some starting time even since he was a freshman, which doesn't happen very often, and he's kind of our prototypical guard in terms of his build and knows the position well. So we're pretty happy about those 2 being back, and then you throw Landon Edwards and Cole Tinney at tackle, and feel like we have kids that have been playing the positions and know their roles and know their responsibilities. So we don't have a lot of offensive linemen, but I do feel like we have some experience there to work with. So then that works in our favor.
Would you say 2 or 3 starters back?
Total offense?
Total offensive line.
2.
Okay.
2 starters.
Okay. As far as Busco football goes, it seems like you guys lose a bunch of guys every year, but you just replace them, and there is no drop-off. You feel like that's going to be the case again this year?
Well, I hope, but I'll be honest with you. I'm probably more pessimistic by nature than what maybe some people outside of the program are, as far as worrying about things. I think we have kids that are capable of winning football games. I don't doubt that. I mean, there's a culture here that kids know how to work hard and they know the expectations. You just hope that you when you replace kids that it's more than just what you see on the field. Obviously, we had 2 All-State kids that graduated. That's hard to replace that, but even more than the stuff on the field is that what are you going to do when things go bad type of mentality, and when things aren't working out the way you want them to, and when you're having a bad practice or you're having a bad day, or that somebody scores on you right away and you didn't expect it. We're hoping we have that group of kids that's going to step up and say, okay, follow me, I'll show you what to do, and that type of thing. And we've had that in the past, and that's been a big key to our success. And if we can find kids that are willing to do that for us this year, I do think we have the opportunity to win some games. But if we don't find those leaders, I don't think it's going to be real pretty, especially early in the season. So,
final question: defensively, what's impressed you? And then also from the quarterback position, who are the guys that have the front running position? Because Hayden did a good job. Really did a good job actually in passing, more so than people would thought, and running the offense essentially.
Well, as far as the defense goes, our secondary has a lot of experience back. And, our inside linebackers, like I said, Lyle's back, and he's been starting for a few years. The secondary probably has collectively the most experience. And that's nice, because that's kind of a change for us to have the secondary back in bigger numbers. It's usually the other way around. We're usually replacing secondary guys year after year. And we've been fortunate that most of the guys that are back there, whether they were starters last year or not, at least have some varsity experience. And then, like I said, the same thing with inside linebackers. With Lyle, he's been starting for 3 years, and he has very good command of the defense and understands the checks and reading guards and all that. As far as the quarterback position, it initially was probably a 2-man race, and because of some injuries and things, some depth issues, we kind of were planning on moving Sam Richards, having him take some halfback reps. He's one of our fastest kids, and he's only a sophomore, and not for his lack of ability at quarterback, but because he probably can help us at some other areas that we're going to need some help with, especially early on. So Drew Buffenbarger was probably the favorite going in anyway, and feel like that's a good place for him at quarterback, and has a pretty good understanding of the offense, and has done a good job in the preseason so far. So I feel like we're set there, at least right now.